Hey guys, this is Sam, back for a Born of the Gods Theros draft. It's still pre-releasing on Magic Online, so I'm just, gonna try out some drafts. Alright, so here we get the blue promo, which is Arbiter of the Ideal. So in my experience, these games, I mean, you can just draft like the not aggressive deck and usually get away with it. And I really like to be aggressive here. And while this card is very good, Divination, Retraction Helix, I'm actually up on. I was originally pretty down on it. I like Bolt or Skirmisher or Sun Guide here because I want to be very aggressive in this format. Bolt is just such a good removal spell. Bro, I don't know. I think I want to take one of these two. You know what? I haven't played with Arbiter. Yeah, let's just take Arbiter. I actually have not played with it. Ooh, my God, 2 bolts would have been insane. All right, so exactly the same common run. Rebuff Perplexing Chimera. A little perplexing, don't you think? Divination. Alright, well, I think I'll just take Divination here and stay blue. Obviously, the aggressive cards are getting past us, or at least they did once. This isn't great. A Crow and Skyguard, very aggressive, getting past us. It's between Triton and Divination. Yeah, this card's not fantastic. Lightning Volley's okay. I think creature control. Yeah, so I think I'm just gonna take the Triton here. It's an early-ish 3-drop that kind of is very good against aggro. Another Skyguard. Jeez. We are just passing such a good aggressive deck. Yeah, but that's what we get for wanting to try the Arbiter of the Ideal. So we can jump on board right now, but that's not really where we are. We're kind of Siren of Silent Song. That's what we're trying to do here. The Asphyxiate shows that black's open. And another one. So yeah, once again, 2 really good aggressive white cards, although black-blue also seems to be open, so we may not be making such a terrible choice. Asphyxiate the removal spell over Nyxborn Triton here, I think is a good pick. Alright, so once again, another aggressive white card, although now this is where we get all the black cards. So Sangromancy is fine as like a very large draw. Although I really like Servant of Timarant and Necrobite. Marshmist Titan is also pretty fantastic. So I have really liked the Titan when I've played it. But I think Servant is just better. Although we are already pretty heavy in the 3-drop slot. Yeah, I mean, I think Servant's just enough better that I want it here. Alright, and here... So, passing another aggressive card. Vortex Elemental, though. Yeah, this isn't great. Vortex Elemental, though, is a removal spell in its own right. And we really just want to get to our Arbiters and our Flyers that can take over the game. This is fine, but it's not a bomb. And after bombs, you usually take removal, so that's what I'm going to play. I was really impressed with this on Friday night when I played it. I sided it in one game. I was playing a very aggressive white-blue heroic deck, but I had to side it in one game because I was playing against another very aggressive like white-red heroic deck maybe, and I was on the draw game too, so I sided in and it did a lot of work for me. Just flying. So Eye Gouge is, I guess, a decent sideboard card. Stratus Walk's probably not fantastic, so I'll just take Eye Gouge for the board. And we get a Nyxborn Eidolon or a Divination. Once again, aggressive white and red cards. I don't know. I think we just take the Eidolon here. We still just want like early stuff to do. Yep, and we'll take another one. So this is a pretty good pack. I mean, we have 9 things that we are like very happy about playing. So a 2-1. So Hold on here. Revoke Existence is very good against us, so I'm going to hate it. I also need them for Constructed. So for those of you that like watch a lot of, we're gonna take this. So for those of you that pay a lot of attention to Magic coverage and stuff, Marshall Sutcliffe, who does a lot of like the Pro Tour commentary and whatnot, has a podcast, Limited Resources, in which he talks a lot about limited. And so one of his things is the vanilla test, and that's like, so if you just got rid of all the text on the card except for the power and the CMC convert mana cost, like would it be good? And a 2-1 for 2 on these guys is like relatively decent. There are some situations in which you just play a Bronze Sable or whatever, and the Bestow just makes it so much better. So not only is it good like against aggro, it's also very good like in the long game. So that's why I like these guys so much. Hide the Revoke. So 9 playables, pack 1 is very good. Blue-black was like very strong in Theros as well. So my strategy so far has been to like be relatively aggressive, whether it's like a red-green ramp deck or just a very fast white deck of some sort, because I think the cards in Born of the Gods just like are very good with the cards in Theros. Like it's not enough to like make your own archetypes out of just Born of the Gods. You kind of have to like mesh them together. I'm not a huge fan of Charlatan, although we could like asphyxiate 2 things or divination twice. I think we just take Emissary. It's a really good creature. It's very good in these decks, so I think that's what we're taking here. Yeah, passing a Magma Jet and a Leaf Crown Dryad, but gotta do what you gotta do. So here we have Lash as the removal spell, Bloator Harpy as a flyer, another way to get in, Wavecast Triton, and Gainsay. Gainsay obviously is solely a sideboard card. I think we just take the removal spell here. Like, we're trying to slow down the game and just kill all our things. We already have Asphyxiate, Vortex Elemental. I think we just want the extra removal spell here. We don't really need more 3-drops at the moment. Like, I don't know. I mean, we have a few ways to kill them, so we just want things that are going to control the game and keep us in the lead, so to speak. So it's Omen Speaker or Erebos' Emissary. Omen Speaker is very good at just, you slam it, you scry, sets you up for turns and turns and turns and turns. So this is kind of showing us, like, we really did play. I mean, we're not getting a lot of white in this direction, which is what we expected because we passed so much in the first place. Although Erebos' Emissary is just so far superior to Omen Speaker that I really think we have to take it. Like, Omen Speaker is really, like, it's okay in the late game, I guess, getting to scry. But in the early game is, like, really where it shines, like, blocking most 2 and 3 drops and setting up your future turns. But Erebos' Emissary is just so good on 4 and so good on 6 that we have to take it. So here's an interesting pick. There's nothing for us, so it's either one of the artifacts, the land, or a hate draft. There's nothing I really care about too much here, so I think I'm just going to take the amulet in case we, we're short of playable or need a splash or whatever. And this is an interesting one, because that's a very late Nessian Asp, although we didn't see a ton of green pack 1. Someone just could have cut it very hard. We don't really need the Unicorn, and Sealock Monster's a fairly good finisher. So I'm going to grab that. Return Phalanx is just what we needed. It's a good defensive card early and a relatively decent aggressive card late. And so this is decent for us. We have Prescient Chimera, 3/4 flyer, or the Wavecrash Triton. I really like the 1/4 blocker, and being able to like tap things down for multiple turns is fantastic. And Disciple. So that's just what we wanted there. We want to be getting things out of their hands. And a 1/3 isn't awful. It does block all the 2 power the 2 power creatures, obviously. And although it's not fantastic for 4, just being able to generally get their best card is great. And 4 mana isn't terrible. Like, obviously you'd rather have Thoughtseize or whatever, but it's still fairly good. And we look to be heavy black. We look to be more black than blue at this point, so that's solid. I guess we could maybe play the Charlatan if we have, like, a ton of spells. I think we just take Gainsay for the sideboard. We don't really need a Benthic Giant. We have plenty of ways to kill them. We don't need the Return Centaur. We're not like graveyard centered. We're not aggressive enough to really need Fate Foretold, so I probably just take Viper's Kiss, hide it, and maybe a Raptor. I could see situations in which that would be okay. We'll take the Chimera. That's, oh my god, that late Ordeal. I mean, I guess green isn't really super aggressive, though. Although they did get that heroic, that 3-mana 1/1 heroic guy. The smaller Stone-Chartered Warrior. So maybe green does get a little bit more aggressive with the addition of Born of the Gods. But I still, like, when I've played green, I haven't really been impressed with the Ordeals. Defend the Hearth. And a Forest. Alright, so... So I mean, so this is pretty good. I'm annoyed to only get 7 playables out of that pack. Although this does mean that we only need 7 playables out of the next pack as well. So Temple or Griptide. The Temples aren't like worth enough money to like make me take them. If we wield it, maybe, but we really need a Griptide here. Really need a Griptide. Now remember, I play more on online than I do in person. When I play in person, it's like big tournaments, and I'm usually borrowing cards, so I'm not having to buy a lot of stuff. I believe the Temples are like between $5 and $10 in person, so maybe, you know, if you need one for your collection or whatever, Griptide may not get you, you know, a match win. It may not win you a match, which, you know, in prizes could be the equivalent of $5 or $10. So maybe you take the Temple at a seat there in person, but online where it's worth less than $1, and each match win is worth, you know, 3 or 4, you know, you're going to take the Griptide. So that's the easy pick there. And yeah. This is great, isn't it? So Ember Swallower is obviously very good. Nessian Asp, Fate Foretold, Coastline Chimera. We already have a Chimera hidden. I guess we could play a Fate Foretold. Yeah, I mean, I don't think we really want to, like, splash the Asp or anything. So, I think we just take the Fate Foretold. We wouldn't mind another fatty or 2 up at the top to help kill people. What is going on with these packs? Alright, so... let's just take the Baleful Eidolon. That card's, like, very good. It's fine. I mean, that was really the only black card in the pack, though, so, you know. Stuff happens, I suppose. I would really like a Gray Merchant, although that's probably, like, the chances of that happening are just going down and down and down as we continue on in this draft. Yeah, so we're probably not getting a Gray Merchant at this point. Oh, well. I am happy to pick up a Read the Bones. It's a divination, like, of sorts, you know, so... I'm happy to pick it up. Torment here, great in the aggressive black deck. Last Breath, very good against the aggressive decks. We're not seeing a bunch of aggressive cards like in this direction, which is the direction we passed our first pack, so I don't really know what's going on. This pack, like the overall power level of the cards in this pack have seemed to be a bit weak, though. Passing a bunch of red, going to take the Sip, Scourge Mark not for our deck, Dark Patrol, fine sideboard card, but we're going to main deck the Sip and be happy with it. Again, already have a Coastline Chimera hidden, so there's no need for that. And here, I guess we could play the Thassa's Bounty, although we have a lot of card draw with Divination and Read the Bones. So there's really no need for that. We could, like, splash white for Sentry if we really need an extra way to kill them, but I think we just take the second read here. Like, I would happily play 3 Divination Read the Bones effects here. And Pharika's Cure, that is. So that's going to really help shore up our early game. Now, Mnemonic Wall is good here, because we have Asphyxiate, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6, 7 spells that we'd want a Mnemonic Wall. So that is good, but Pharika's Cure is just another removal spell against aggro. Wow, so we're just going to remove all of the things here. I don't know, maybe we get a Mnemonic Wall on a wheel or something. March returned. This could be decent in this deck, actually. Our deck's grindy enough to want to be able to, like, get back Baleful Eidolons, you know, or Servants or Sirens that they happen to kill. So maybe we want that. I'm not exactly sure. We don't want to play against Sedge Scorpion ever. I guess we can grab the sandals. Yeah, so, I mean, very happy with this deck. Ooh, we got the Dark Betrayal back for the sideboard. Very happy with that card. I'm sure there is a black deck somewhere because we didn't, you know, there has to be another one at the table. So, you know, it's good against that deck. So the pick I'm really still mulling over in my head is the Pharika's Cure Mnemonic Wall pick. I really think we need the Pharika's Cure to shore up like the aggro matchups, but we do have the return. We do have like 4 2-drops that we can play, 1 1-drop, and a bunch of 4 3-drop creatures and a removal spell. So maybe our aggro matchup was fine, and we just want to be able to like recur Grip Tides or Sips or whatever. I'm not sure. I mean, Lash of the Whip definitely made our pick better because it just added more removal. But, you know, those are the type of picks I guess you gotta mull over in your head. So Siren, Sip, Double Lash, Disciple, Double Emissary, Asphyxiate Servant, and we have Arbiter, Sealock, Riptide, Wave Crash, Triton, Divination, Vortex Elemental. So we have Amulet, Fate Foretold, Meletus, Coastline, and a Viper's Kiss and a March Returned, I guess. We have very good sideboard cards in Gainsay and Dark Betrayal. I guess Eye Gouge's sideboard material, maybe? I don't know. So the card I really want to fan of this deck somehow is March of the Returned. Viper's Kiss isn't totally necessary because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 removal spells. That's a lot of removal spells. So we have a lot. Coastline Chimera is good against like the aggressive flyer deck. But once again, we have a lot of removal. And so we should be okay there and just be able to board it in. Meletus Charlatan is good, but I'm not really counting on us having 9 mana or even 8 mana to like recur or like double Lash of the Whip effect or double Sip of Hemlock, and I'm not planning on them having necessarily that many more creatures than we have removal. I mean, obviously this card is nice, and I could see cutting it for like Wave Crash Triton. I really like these Nyxborn Eidolons though; they're just so good against aggro, and also very good at just finishing the game on like a Sealock monster or a Siren or something. Yeah. So we have Fate Foretold, which I guess I could see, and an Amulet. So we have 14 creatures. Now, how do we kill them? We have Arbiter and Sealock monster. We have 2 Emissaries, which, you know, can always get there. And then we have Siren. So we have, 5 things that can just get there. Alright. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Like, we have lots of draw and lots of removal. Alright, I like this deck. Maybe it could use 1 more win condition, but we'll see how it works out. I'm thinking 9-8 in favor of black. 11-6, definitely not. 10-7. No, because we want to be able to cast our bombs. Yeah, I'll go 9-8 with black. I think that's more where we want to be. Alright, so this deck seems good. Let's see how it plays out. I will see you guys back here for round 1.